Hey everybody, this is Jerry Scarlata, and this is episode 3 of Thrive TV. That rolls right off the tongue. Today we're going to talk about loaded carries. At least the loaded carries we utilize here at Thrive Fitness. Understand that there are a lot more variations of loaded carries than the ones we're going to go over today, but these are the ones that we use most often at Thrive Fitness because they seem to be the most bang for your buck and also the most efficient for us to be able to use in our space. So today we're going to go over waiter carry, suitcase carry, and farmer carry. Each one has the best thing that it can be utilized for depending on what your goal is, and each one has a different place that you can put it. Understand that each one of these carries can be used as a corrective type of exercise, a strength type of exercise, and a conditioning type of exercise. It all depends on where you place it and how you use it, how much weight you're using, where it's placed within your training, your workout. So let's get started with waiter carry. Waiter carry is done with a kettlebell. All right, you can do it with a dumbbell, but it is not going to be as effective. Because of the placement of the weight with the kettlebell when you do your waiter carry is why it is most effective to use a kettlebell when you do it. So as we set up our carry, we want to get the kettlebell up in rack position, okay? From here, we want to press it right overhead. And this is where the weight stays as we're walking our weight, all right? With all of these, you want to act like there's a tightrope in front of you and walk down your tightrope, okay? With your waiter carry, you want to make sure that this elbow stays extended and that your wrist stays nice and straight. You don't want soft wrists and you don't want half bent elbows, okay? Nice extended, wrist straight, up nice and tall. Where this weight is distributed behind us is why the kettlebell is the best thing for this version of the carry. Like I said, you can use a dumbbell with that, but you're not going to get that weight distribution. You want that weight to sit on the back of your forearm so that your shoulder has to stabilize. The waiter carry is best used to help stabilize the shoulder, help mobilize the scapula and mobilize your shoulder. You'll also get some core strengthening using the waiter carry, and you'll also get some hip stability using the waiter carry. You don't get as much core strengthening and as much hip stability as you will with these other two variations because you just can't use as much weight. This is a great one to place more at the beginning of your workout because of that, because you're not using as much weight. So it's a good one to place at the beginning to help loosen your shoulders up, get them mobile for the rest of your workout. The second one we're going to go over is suitcase carry. Suitcase carry is done with one kettlebell or dumbbell. Again, the kettlebell is the best piece of equipment for you to use with the suitcase carry because of, again, of the weight distribution, okay? So with suitcase carry, we want the kettlebell in one hand, okay? Make sure anytime you're picking weight up, you always pick it up correctly. Back flat, hinge in your hips, pick the weight up correctly, okay? With our suitcase carry, we want to walk the same way we talked about with our waiter carry, but this is even more important, and we're going to go over why. So pretend like there's a tightrope in front of you and walk down your tightrope, okay? Heel to toe, always walk over your big toe, because that's a big problem a lot of people have with their big toes, which is why a lot of people have back issues. Nonetheless, suitcase carry, the weight is in one hand, okay? Walk for a distance or a time, and then switch hands, do the same distance or time. So the reason that it's important for you to walk your tightrope with your suitcase carry especially is because this one is definitely a big hip stabilizer. Because of its unilateral weight distribution, you have the weight on one side of your body, you are going to use the pattern of one side of your body versus the other depending on what side you have it on. What everyone will realize is that one side of their body feels natural, probably going to be your right. The other side of your body feels unnatural, probably going to be your left, even if you're a left-hander. This is a right-handed world that we live in. So even if you're a left-hander, odds are your right side still gets used more than your left side. You might write left-handed, you might do some other small tasks left-handed, but odds are you're still utilizing the right side of your body and hence the right pattern of your body more often than your left. So with the suitcase carry, as you walk, you want to stay on your tightrope, right? You want to keep your shoulders up nice and tall, and you want to use some weight. So you have to figure out where that is, okay? And that's up for you to figure out. But understand that this is a great one to utilize to get your body symmetrical again. It's never going to be completely symmetrical, but we want to get it close to symmetrical. So everyone does bilateral exercise. Everyone does. Bilateral meaning you use two legs to do it, especially when doing leg exercises. You do leg extensions, leg curls, squats, leg press. Okay, those are all things that you use two legs to do. So when you perform this, the suitcase carry with the weight in one hand, when you perform it, the reason that you'll feel different in one hand than the other is because the pattern of that walk of the weight in that hand is never used. And the off leg is not your strong leg. So performing this specific carry is going to be the one that you should utilize the most in order to get your body back to symmetrical. The waiter carry is another way to do it because obviously it's a unilateral one arm exercise as well. However, the suitcase carry, because of being able to use more weight, is going to be the one that you should utilize more often. It's another one that you can either put in the beginning or at the end, again, depending on what your goal is. If you want to use a medium-ish weight, stick it at the beginning of your workout. You can stick it at the end as well. If you want it to build strength and make sure you're really grinding that walk and bring your body back to symmetrical, stick it towards the end and use heavy weight. You can also use those two as a cardio type depending on what you group it with. So we've talked about swings before and goblet squats. These are exercises and the farmer's carry, which we'll go over in a second, that you can group with swings, goblet squats, push-ups, and things like that in order to get a big metabolic hit on your body as well. So let's go over farmer's carry real quick, and then we'll kind of review and figure out where to pick or where to put each of these exercises. So there are a couple ways that you can do the farmer's carry. For most people, kettlebells or dumbbells will be just fine. Kettlebells aren't as readily available in most gyms and most facilities, so you'll have to use dumbbells, and that's okay. With farmer's carry, you have a weight in both hands, okay? So here, and again, walking your tightrope, staying upright, keeping your shoulders neutral, not back, neutral, okay? Neutral, not back, neutral, okay? You don't want this pattern, you don't want to sit in this position. This is overextended. Whenever people talk about working on posture, most people go like this and say sit up tall. This is not sitting up tall, this is just putting yourself in the opposite position of this, okay? Neutral is where you want. So figure out where your neutral is and get there with your carries and not here or here. The other way that you can do your farmer's carry is with the trap bar, okay? A lot of gyms also don't have the trap bar, but a lot of them do. So depending on where you are, you might be able to use the trap bar. The only reason you would use a trap bar versus kettlebells or dumbbells is because you don't have enough weight. You don't have enough kettlebell weight or dumbbell weight in order to actually carry. Farmers walk bars are what most strongmen use, but I'm pretty positive that not a whole lot of, especially fitness centers, probably none of them have farmers carry bars. But so if your gym has dumbbells that go up to 150, which that's a big number for most gyms. If they go up to 150 and you can carry 200 pounds in each hand, and they only go up to 150, use the trap bar and throw 400 pounds on it and carry. So you would pick up the trap bar the same way you picked up your kettlebells, back nice and flat, good hinge in your hips, feet are width apart, drive to the ground, and then we're walking. So with all of these, and it's all dependent on your weight and who you are and what your goal is, but you can utilize all these as corrective type exercise, as strength type exercise, and as cardio type exercise. Depending on what weight you're using it'll all depend on what weight you're using and what your goal is. So if you're trying to fix a few things, fix some asymmetries, want to try and loosen your shoulders up, you want to shoot for a medium type of weight. Even heavier weights will fix these things, but it's for different exercises. So with weight or carry, for instance, you want a medium type of weight. The weight or carry you definitely have to figure out before you start putting weight on, because obviously holding a weight over your head, if you don't have it figured out and that thing comes and bangs you in the head, then we have issues. So the weight or carry you definitely want to figure out before you go pounding the weight on, and that's one that is more of a corrective than anything else. The suitcase and the farmer's carry can be definitely utilized as strength, cardio, corrective, all the above with any type of weight. So obviously if your goal is strength, then you want to put weight on it, okay? You have to figure out what your weight is. You can start with, we'll say 25% of your weight and then go from there, okay? 25% should be pretty easy if you're walking, we'll say 100 feet with each hand. 25% of your weight with the suitcase carry with the weight in one hand should be pretty easy. So you can pretty quickly go up in weight with that one, and that is definitely one that you should try and go up in weight on. So again, if you can't go up in weight, the other way to increase your intensity is by duration. So if you only have so much weight, if you only have 50 pounds available, and walking 100 feet with it is too easy, walk 150 feet with it. So the last one, farmer's carry, is another one that can be a strength or a cardio exercise. If you're using it for strength, pound on the weight. Start with 25% of your weight in each hand, so you're talking 50% of your weight total, okay? 50% of your weight total. It's another one that should go up pretty quick, but you have to be comfortable with it. So it should go up quick, but you have to make sure that you're comfortable performing the move before you actually jump up really fast. So if you can get to, with the farmer's carry, if you can get to body weight total, so half of your body weight in each hand, you're doing pretty stinking good. But utilizing them as strength workout and utilizing them as cardio workouts, you're gonna use different types of weights depending on what your goal is. So if you're utilizing these as a cardio type of workout, then you don't want to bump up and be as high as you are if you're using it as a strength workout. So for instance, say we're doing farmer's carry one day as a strength workout, and then we'll call it Monday, and then Wednesday we're going to use it as a cardio workout. On Monday, we're doing 100% of our weight, half of it in each hand. So 50% of our weight in each hand for our farmer's carry, and we're doing it for 100 feet, okay? On Wednesday, we're gonna do swings mixed with push-ups, and then finish off with farmer's carries at the end of our workout. So at this point, we're dead tired. So trying to stabilize yourself for 100 feet with 50% of your weight in each hand is going to be significantly harder than it was on Monday when we did it as a strength workout. So we can cut that down, instead of 50% in each hand, maybe 40% in each hand. So just be smart with your numbers, be smart with your weights, and you won't get hurt. The goal in your training, number one goal in everyone's training is to not get hurt. Number one in everyone's. You're either training If you're an athlete, you're training to get better at your sport. If you're general population, which is everyone else besides athlete, if you're general population, you're training for life, and life, when you get hurt, becomes harder. So number one is to not get hurt. So watch your weights, be careful with them. Go up, but be comfortable with it first. Know where you're putting it in your workout, and then go from there. So to review, weight or carry with a kettlebell, up nice and tall, elbow locked, wrist nice and straight. Suitcase carry down to the side, walk down your tightrope, keep yourself up nice and tall, shoulders neutral, not here, neutral. Farmer's carry, one in each hand, walk through a distance, keep yourself up nice and tall. So that's it for today. Thank you guys for listening. If you have any questions, you're welcome to hit us up on Twitter at the Thrive Pack. You can also get us on Facebook. We'll have links to all these exercises on the YouTube page in the feed. So if you have any questions, let us know. Otherwise, we'll see you guys next time. Thanks.